welcome or welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. I'm so glad that you're joining me for these messages. It just brings me so much joy to read your cards. Speaking of, my calendar is now open for personal readings. The link for that is in the description below. Of course, anything you could ever want to know about this reading is going to be in the description below. And honestly, that's really all I have. I'm not even sure what decks we're going to be using yet. I just started getting that like poking feeling last night to start putting out messages again. So that's what we're going to do. And this is probably the quickest intro I've ever done, but let's get into it.
Sweet. So, let's see. Get situated here. This is upside down. So, we have the Everyday Witch Tarot. And then we have the Everyday Witch Oracle deck. So I actually just got these decks like 2 days ago? Actually when I made that video, the intro video. So anyway, I went to a local metaphysical store out here that opened, I think it was like last year, and I've been meaning to go. I just kept forgetting. So anyway, I went over there. I got these 2 decks from them. I didn't even know that the Everyday Witch had an oracle deck, so I love that. And let's first, though, figure out who is next. Let's see. Oh, there we go. We have Leo. Let's do it. So we are just going to get an overall vibe from the Oracle deck, and then of course we'll get some more information from the tarot. Ooh. Very fiery, like Leo. We have inspiration and courage. Love that. I keep getting drawn to, this figure with her hands at the heart space and really like connecting to your body, right? Like getting out of the head, connecting to the body through your heart space, connecting to your intuition. I love that this cat is like literally just staring at this crystal ball. And of course, like just all of the fire that's around them with the candles. This definitely even kind of has like a vibe of ritual, or I'll make sure everything is straight after I get all of the cards out. My OCD. But it almost kind of has this like ritual kind of feel to it, like writing things down, setting intentions. I mean, you don't necessarily have to write things down if you don't want to, but I think it helps like getting it out of the mind and putting it onto paper. We have Justice. We have the Page of Wands. Seven of Swords. Queen of Wands. 2 more. 2 of Pentacles. 1 more. 10 of Wands. This is Judgment. Yep. Judgment. 9 of Cups. The Empress. Ooh. Okay, hold on. Okay. I think everything looks okay. Okay. It's the Taurus in me. It's like I need it to look nice also. So, I mean, what a journey here. It's almost like I get this feeling that this is what is trying to be manifested through inspiration and courage. And that's why, to that, I was getting that feeling of ritual or writing things down, even journaling, even talking out loud. Although I think you have to sometimes choose who you say things out loud to, because people like to interject their own opinions and their own fears and doubts, and unless there is somebody in your life that you can almost just kind of like openly share things with, and they'll like create the space or give you the space in order to do so without interjection. And that's why, even I was bringing up journaling. It's like getting it out of your head and truly writing down like what is in your heart, like what is true for you? What do you want to be true for you in your life? How do you want to express? And it does take courage and even inspiration. I'm kind of curious to even just read. I love little booklets. I just love them. I'm so glad that I have the booklet for the tarot, because I have this deck in the pocket size, so it's obviously it's a little bit smaller, but it didn't come with a booklet. And I just love booklets because I just love like learning different perspectives, and it just helps me even expand my knowledge and understanding, and I love that. This would be fire, I'm assuming. I haven't even looked at this book yet, so I'm not even sure where things are. Here we go. Life is full of challenges. Some of them we take on willingly. Some of them come out of nowhere when we least expect them, good or bad, happy or sad. All things that challenge us also give us the opportunity to grow stronger, to push our boundaries and move out of our comfort zones, to reach deep inside or reach out towards others. Whether you are seeking inspiration for work or play, or dealing with illness or grief, don't underestimate the power of your own thoughts. We have the patterns of thinking that are a part of who we are as human beings. Some work for us, some don't. If you get this card, you are probably in need of either inspiration or courage, or possibly both. That's okay, because this card is also telling you it is out there, or maybe waiting right inside you. If it is inspiration you need, look to the natural world that surrounds you. It is full of wonders, but don't forget to look inside too. Yeah, that's interesting, because this to me would, well, let me, I think it was number 4. Yeah, so this is under creativity and passion. It's interesting because, it's talking a lot about our thoughts, right? And I'm sure, you've heard all of the things about, our thoughts create our realities and all of that. So it's interesting because, we have air, which is the mind and thoughts. We have the air card here, which is the mind and thoughts. Also ego, because that's generally where we hear our ego, is in our minds. And I think that's also too why their hands are at their heart space, because it really is truly about, getting into your body and feeling what is true for you outside of your mind. Because it's almost like, your thoughts need to come from your heart. And that takes some work to do, because we've all been so conditioned to think from our minds instead of from our heart. Let's just start from the beginning, because I feel like I'm almost even kind of trying to get ahead of myself, which is very manifesting generator of me. Even though, I mean, we're not talking human design, but we start with this Justice card here. This is a card of Libra. There can be a Libra, there doesn't have to be. But the Justice card talks about the scales balancing. You know, it's a balance of the light and the dark energies, right? Your shadow and your light. It's also about fairness, karma, destiny, even. And in this depiction of the card, they have this blindfold on, if you can, hopefully you can see that, but it's not covering one eye. So there is some sight there, you know, because there's that whole saying, justice is blind or should be blind. And that just means that it should be based on fact, objective fact. If you start inserting, you know, your beliefs or other people's beliefs, other people's opinions, modalities, you know, organized religions or teachings, and if you start interjecting all of that, it's no longer objective truth. It becomes an opinion. So that's, you know, like with the Justice card, it's looking at things objectively. How many times did I say objective in the last 60 seconds? Like 5. But it's interesting because it's also like, what is true for you? Like at your core, right? Even going back to this card here, connecting in with your soul, with your spirit, truly, you know, what is true for you? I mean, you could have been spending some time figuring that out, or even deconditioning some things, because, you know, the scales are balanced here. Maybe you feel at a place, or feel like you're even maybe getting to a place of more balance, and at least an understanding of your shadow side. Because it's interesting to me, like we go from the Justice card to the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Wands is fire. So it's very much your energy. And it's almost like these two people seem like the same person to me. Like at first glance, it looks like this person could be this person also. And it's almost like this may be the image that you present to the world, like corporate or business. You know, I'm sure you understand where I'm going with that. Like, I don't want to say serious, because I don't think there's anything wrong with being serious. Maybe rigid, or like really well, you know, kind of put together and disciplined even. Like that could be the image that's presented to the world, or that's the face that you put on. But then there's this Queen of Wands, and this is almost like your inner self. Like this could even be how you see yourself, or how you want to be perceived. And this could be where the inspiration and courage is coming from, is stepping into and presenting as this a bit more colorful. You know, there's a freedom, even an expression. They're literally sitting on a dragon, so it's very, you know, like creative and showing that creativity. I mean, literally look at the difference between these two cards. This is kind of the difference of somebody who decorates with like beige and whites and grays, and then somebody who, you know, it's like a color explosion when you walk in their house. Neither one of them is better or worse, right? Like that's not the point. I'm just trying to make the correlation between going from this. I mean, even look at the shoes. I hope you can see that. I can't see the camera thing, but even look at the shoes. There's flames on these shoes over here. Hold on, there's my dog's about to start freaking out. hold on. Okay. So there's this black cat here playing with one of these flowers that fell. It's almost like there's this feeling of accepting something within your shadow, but it's almost like recognizing that it's not a flaw. It's not technically a shadow. It's just inherently part of who you are. And maybe at some point down the road, somebody did make you feel like it was a flaw. So there's even inner child work, and it's incorporating your inner child in a sense of play and creativity, but like expressing yourself, allowing yourself to express yourself in some capacity that maybe you haven't been for some time. And it's like they traded in their scales for this wand and a crown. There's a hummingbird here, and my attention keeps getting drawn to the hummingbird. So that could have some significance to you. You might even want to look up the meaning of a hummingbird totem. But, the Queen of Wands is also like there's this confidence. Wands have to do with the actions that we're taking, how we're communicating what we're going to do or how we want to do it. Again, there's a creativity aspect to it. There's passion and desire. So it's like honoring those things within yourself. There could be, some sort of promotion going on here too. It's just so interesting to me. I'm going to go with it because I can't it's like I can't unsee it now that these are literally two people, like the same person, two different expressions of that same person. So it could even be day job, like, or around your family. And this is how you present yourself, like outside of those activities or those interactions. And it could be that you're getting to a point where you want to like bridge those things and bring them together instead of having them in separate expressions. Very interesting. And then we have the Page of Wands here. So, and that's kind of why I'm saying, like, maybe there is this bridge that's happening where you're integrating them together, because the Page of Wands is, it's a bit newer to the party. Like it's a page. So it's when you kind of first start out in your new expression, in your new job. It's like, again, for instance, learning a new craft, like you decide that you find something interesting. Like, for instance, let's just use painting. And you're like, you know what? Like, I think I would actually really enjoy painting. So then it's picking up a paintbrush and getting a canvas. And it's like that beginning stage of learning something or even trying something. And it's almost kind of like, exploring the basics of that thing. But it also is like allowing yourself to flow wherever you feel drawn to flow. Like maybe at first you're painting landscapes and then it's yeah, that's nice, but I think I might enjoy more portraits. And then you try that for a little bit and it's maybe even just kind of this rigid expression where you're again trying to get down the basic forms, the basic strokes of the brush, the basic colors. But then it allows you, having those basics, it like allows you to expand and try new things, mixing colors that maybe you wouldn't have mixed before, or you know what I mean? Like, I hope you understand what I'm saying. It's just the beginning stage. And I love how in this card there's this path and there's also one down here. So it's interesting because Did this figure just come out of wherever over here is? Or is this cat trying to get their attention because it's like, hey, let's try, I don't know, let's try this path over here. Like, be a little adventurous, curious even. But this figure's body is pointing towards this path here. So there could be something new opening up for you because of this situation. You could be making a decision to try something new, take a different action than you would have taken before, communicate something differently than you would have before. Maybe even allow yourself, again, even taking that courage to explore something different. And then we have the Two of Pentacles down here. And the Two of Pentacles talks about balancing responsibilities. The Ace of Pentacles comes in, and it's, it could be a gift from the universe. It could be a new opportunity to some degree. And then, we move on to the Two of Pentacles, and it's like, okay, how am I going to work this in to my life? Because the Pentacles, it's about our 3D, right? It's about our bodies. It's about our responsibilities, our day-to-day stuff. It's about money, how we make it, how we spend it, how we save it. It's materials and resources. And we can see on this card, they're standing on a seesaw. I think, is that what it's called? And right now it's in balance. We have this cat, with this look on their face. And it's always like, it's this reminder about expecting the unexpected. And also this reminder about finding balance. And maybe that is, finding balance between work and play. And also a reminder that energy it's constantly in motion. We have this infinity symbol here. Things are constantly changing. And it's also this reminder too, even like I was saying, like with this, right? With the painting example. And like I said, it's just an example to be able to kind of have an image of, what I was trying to convey. But it's not kind of getting stuck in this rigid thing. It's allowing yourself to be fluid in the sense of, it can be something that does change often, and if there is an unexpected thing that comes in, it doesn't mean that anything was a failure or that it didn't work or whatever, right? It's just something that shows up in our lives, and we decide what we're going to do with it. And also too, I just kind of keep looking at, this figure is looking up at this pentacle here, right? And it's like, if you are always looking up, then you're missing what is below eyesight. So, this message about not focusing solely on one thing, which again even feels fluid, which is very like heart space too. And then we have the Seven of Swords, and the Seven of Swords generally talks about deception, trickery. It can be manipulation. That's traditionally what, the Seven of Swords talks about. But it's also about, where are we tricking ourselves? Like I said before, swords having to do with our mind. So it's how we perceive our realities. It's ego. So it's, the stories that we attach to experiences. And this could definitely be a process of, trial and error, like sticking your toe in the water and seeing, like checking the temperature type of thing. Like This isn't to necessarily say that you have to come out, like in full expression. It's more about allowing yourself to explore your own expression, however that is. Like if that's just how you're perceived, if that's how you express yourself in work, if that's how you express yourself in your relationship, like, or relationships, it's so it can literally be anything. But it's also, this message about not, or trying to allow yourself to also work through these stories of, self-sabotage, or, the things that keep you small, the things that keep you from expressing yourself authentically, and even just baby steps too. This could be something that you have either tried in secret, where meaning, you're not necessarily telling a lot of people about it, or that you're even trying whatever this is over here for you. And that's okay. It's nobody's business if you don't want it to be. And the 10 of Wands over here is about burdens, whether it's other people's burdens that you're taking on, or, you have your plate too full. I also see the 10 of Wands, and the 10, with it being a 10, it's a completion. I also see the 10 of Wands as being the experiences that we've picked up along the way. Because again, right, we have these action cards here. It's kind of in this triangle. We can see that they are clearly, walking uphill, which is also a burden. And it could be how you feel about the thing. And that could be where the 7 of Swords is coming in, is, this is how, when you think about it, when you allow yourself to think about it, maybe even slightly too long, this could be how it feels. This could be how it's showing up for you when you think about this over here. And when you even think about the inspiration and courage card, it could feel like it's too much. It could feel like it's overwhelming. But also, there's always this thing about, we don't start from scratch. We start from experience. And that's the 10 of Wands. Because after the 10, we go back to the Ace, right? And that would be a new beginning. But you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from the experiences that you picked up in your last journey through the Wands suit. So, it's a couple different things here. It's definitely not picking up other people's burdens. Don't worry about what other people are going to say about it. And truly, if there are people that are going to have a negative reaction to the thing, to you expressing yourself authentically, and I know that that is scary as hell, but at some point, right, like, it is your life, and at some point you have to, because you're going to feel better in your body if you are expressing yourself from your true authenticity. And again, that could be why this is happening, because maybe like I said before, you have been doing that in private or in secret to some degree, protecting yourself though. And it could also be, finding community with people who see you and accept you, and almost kind of help with this burden, help carry this with you. Like I said, with this being a 10, it is a completion. It is moving on from a burden. And then we have Judgment at the bottom of the deck, which is beautiful, because it's almost like, I love that we start with this inspiration and courage, and we end with Judgment. Because this is that transformation. This is you moving to the beat of your own drum. Like, you can see this music, that you're creating. Other people may not be able to. They don't even need to. The correct people will see it. But it's more important for you to believe in yourself and even find your own beat. We have a butterfly here again, the thing about transformation. And this, so with it being judgment too, this whole experience here led to this being possible, to this transformation being possible. We have the 9 of Cups behind there, which is wish fulfillment. This is you feeling purposeful and fulfilled within yourself. There's this level of contentment here, just in their body language. We have the Empress card. I keep hearing full expression in my head. Like, this is that full expression of yourself. This is also very connected to the heart space. Again, this could be Libra or Taurus. Doesn't have to be. I'm just throwing that out there. They're generally pregnant here. There could be something with that as far as like reproduction goes, but it's also about fertility of opportunity. Like, look at all of the fruit on the tree here, all of the grass and the flowers. It's abundance of what you are manifesting, whatever that is for you. There's this playful element, like being, like, it just feels free. The 3 of Wands, the King of Pentacles. The 3 of Wands talks about a new direction. Again, even trying things, because they have a wand here. There's clearly a spell or something coming out of there, but there's still these 2 wands here. So it could be trying something new. Even again with the 3, we have 2 3s here. The King of Pentacles, the highest expression of the suit. Feeling abundant as far as like materials go. Also, though, being a leader. And we have this Hierophant card behind, which can be, talk about a leader. Like you could be, it's like, when you give yourself permission to literally be yourself, other people, it's like you give other people permission to be themselves around you too. So, with the Hierophant card back there, it's, you could just by literally being yourself, you could even be sharing how you went through your own journey to some degree with other people who are at some stage in their personal development and growth that you were once at. And you were like, I recognize that. And I feel like, just by sharing my experience that, that could help other people. But again, like, that's kind of what this journey is like all about. First you have to, recognize that within yourself and live in that expression yourself. Beautiful. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.